Welcome back to the Your Girl Yaz podcast, the podcast to listen to if you're a female entrepreneur who's ready to attract more fun, more money, success, friendships, and amazing clients into your business. Thank you so much for being here, and I hope I can add some more positivity into your day in this episode. Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode on the Your Girl Yaz podcast. Today we have a very exciting guest. We have Healing with Ki. I have really been wanting to have her on the podcast to talk about all things skincare, confidence. Her Instagram page is Healing with Ki, and if you go follow, you'll just see she is so supportive and so informative and just amazing when it comes to all things skincare and confidence. So welcome on the podcast. I'm so excited to have you on.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
You're so welcome. Honestly, I just feel like, the message that you share, and we haven't spoken that much yet, but I just feel like everything you stand for. Yeah, I really, really wanted to have you on, and I just thought it would be a perfect time coming into a bit more of summer and people wanting to feel confident in themselves. So I thought it'd be really nice of thee for you to share a little bit about your story and, what led you into this space of helping people with their confidence.
Amazing. You know what? I'm so glad you reached out as well, because I feel like what we do is very similar, but it's just like different niches. And I think that's something that's massively helped, is that even though I work on, skincare and skin itself for women, actually a lot of the work I do is around limiting beliefs and their belief system and, confidence in general. So I feel like so many different things tie into who that woman is as a person, and not just, on a surface level, skin wise. It's, skin deep, like what's kind of below the surface there. And that's why I think I love the work I do so much, because if I was just a skincare coach, if that's even a thing, of telling people what skincare to use, like, to me that's the most boring thing in the world. I don't know if it sounds like it to you, but to me, there's so much more, especially on my journey as well. I thought that skincare was going to be the thing that changed everything for me. I thought I was going to find my confidence through using the right skincare, and that was going to be it. And then when I started doing a deep dive into who I actually am beyond my skin, even though my skin wasn't clear at the time, actually I'm so grateful for that now, because it allowed me to tap into other parts of myself that I feel like I wouldn't have if I didn't have acne. I think if I didn't have acne, or genuinely looking back, I feel like I would have been a very, very different person today, and I wouldn't really have got to know myself in the way that I have. Even getting to know my body and things like that. Like, I just don't think if I had acne, I don't think any of that would have happened, and that wouldn't have been my journey. So the fact that I get to now share that, and that kind of concept that a lot of people don't consider when they have acne, right? Because a lot of women will have acne and all of a sudden it's like their life is over. And the thing is, I can 100% relate to that, because that's the same way that I felt as well. So being able to take them out of that rut almost, and take them on this like amazing transformational journey, and it's one that they're in control of as well. I think that's the key element of it. It's like when you're finally in control again, you probably know, like, it's the best feeling ever.
It's so true. And everything that you've said, I think the two things that are coming to mind is our cycles and skincare. It's like we've got one option,
Yeah.
take, if take the tablets, or take this. And I, everything that you just said, I really want to maybe go back to Kiara back then, that had the acne, that was struggling. What did life look like for her back then?
Oh my God, it was genuinely, I actually spoke about this the other day on another podcast, and I really went deep into where I was back then. And the only word I can use to describe that whole 10-year period of my life is stuck. I was stuck every single day, because when I had acne, and I still get skin flare ups now. I think that's another key point of why I do what I do, and why I'm a skin confidence coach rather than like a clear skin coach sort of thing. But when I was in that situation of being stuck every single day, when you have acne, you don't get to just forget about it and get rid of it in a day. You wake up and you're in the same skin every single day. You have the same thoughts every single day. And if anything, those thoughts just become stronger and stronger and stronger as time goes on, the longer you're kind of dealing with it. So I was in a situation where I was around people that had clear skin, like genuinely not a single person I knew had acne. So even being able to talk about it was very difficult, because no one could relate to what I was experiencing or what I was feeling. So it was very lonely. And naturally, the age I was, so I got acne, like literally an overnight acne breakout. My skin went from clear to like full cystic acne within 24 hours.
Oh my
So
goodness.
for me, the adjustment of that was honestly awful. But at the time, because I was so young and social media wasn't really a thing then, and I wasn't really at the stage where I was looking at things like dating and boys. So actually, there weren't many external kind of factors that were impacting me. So I was actually really confident when I first got acne because to me, there wasn't anything, I didn't feel like there was anything wrong with me. And then
Mm-hmm.
when I started to get a bit older and kind of get into my teens, and obviously social media became a thing, dating became more of a thing, and people started to tell me that there was something wrong with me. So when for example, I went to like the GP, right? And they would make me believe that something was wrong with me. And as soon as other people started telling me something was wrong with me, I believed that something was wrong with me and I acted in line with that. So I would cancel plans. I would avoid going out with my friends. I would like restrict myself from eating certain foods because I'm like, oh my God, I can't eat chocolate because it's going to break me out. So honestly, life was very miserable because I was just limiting myself more and more and more as time went on because that was normal to me. I didn't know any other way of living. So to me, a limiting lifestyle was just if you had acne, that's kind of the way you have to live.
Mm.
Yeah,
In that survival
it
mode,
wasn't
and
fun.
as a yeah, and as a young girl as well, like, you're just trying to do your best. You're trying to fit in. You want to be liked. And, then having that overnight as well. And all of a sudden, like, your beliefs changing about yourself and wanting to get help and being told by doctors that there's something wrong with you. That's so triggering as a young girl. So I always love to just, well, like, think back and send that version of you so much love. And like you said at the start, like, I wouldn't be where I am today without my journey with acne. And
Yeah.
I feel so passionately around the confidence of women, and it's so not about your appearance, and it is generally like that internal glow up that you can have when you fall in love with yourself. So let's
Yeah.
talk about your journey then of like transforming yourself and that glow up and that inner confidence that I know that you talk about as
Whew.
well.
Yeah. It's honestly the best journey that I've
Yeah.
ever been on. And I think I had to go through the journey that I went through before. So obviously when I had acne, because it's been such a long, long period of time, literally 12 years basically. Um, I went through going on the pill. I went through going on antibiotics. I went through that whole period of essentially being like pushed and pulled in every direction because, again, I had no control. So I was just listening to what everyone else told me to do because, again, I believed that something was wrong with me and I believed that I couldn't fix myself. So I just, whatever people told me to do, I would always do. So going from that to where I am now, where all of a sudden last year, I decided, so this was in 2024, my skin obviously because I've been on like the on birth control, I've been on so many different things. My skin for that 10-year period was very up and down. So I'd go through periods of clear skin, I'd go through periods of like my worst breakouts yet. I go through periods where my skin was kind of like breaking out but not that bad sort of thing. And it was very confusing because throughout that period as well, there was so many different things that I was doing. So I wasn't keeping track of anything. There was no control. I was just wherever my skin was going, I was following it basically. And then last year, I had probably my worst breakout yet. It was genuinely terrible. And obviously now I'm at a very different stage of life. Like this is 10 years later. I'm a woman now. Like I've got a business. Like I was working in the corporate world. Like I'm just in a very, very different headspace than I was 10 years ago. And in my head, something, I don't know what it was, something clicked. And I was like, the fear of going back to where I was 10 years ago was so strong that I knew that I had to do something. And I wasn't actually sure what I was going to do, but I just knew that going back to where I was and kind of feeling stuck again wasn't an option. So
Mhm.
I actually ended up booking my first ever solo trip. And I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna go. I know. I literally told Robin about it when we met, and I was like,
Mhm.
you know what? I'm just gonna book it because once it's booked, it's confirmed in my mind that I'm going, right? And I told
Yeah.
myself that I'm gonna document it, and I'm gonna document it as someone who's going on a solo trip with acne because at the
Mhm.
time that's when my skin flare up was happening, and
Mhm.
I was literally petrified. Like I was petrified because you know, when you're on holiday and you just want to enjoy yourself. Also, like, you know, going away by yourself for the first time to another country is fairly scary anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so it was a big thing for me, and I went, and obviously, like, it was the most incredible. Like, I had the most incredible time, and
Where did you go?
honestly, what I went to Croatia. So I
Oh,
went literally like along the coastline of Croatia and like traveled from city to city because me, I'm a beach girl. So like if I'm on the beach with like a book or like just some music, genuinely I could do that for years. I could sit on a beach for
mm-hmm.
years. So for me, I
Mm-hmm.
was like, actually, I know that if, for example, I planned ahead. So I knew that if, for example, my skin was flaring up on one day and it was getting to me and I was having a lot of anxiety, I needed to be somewhere where I could just take myself to the beach and take myself to that calm space where I can just be me and just be myself. So that's why I kind of, although I did have this energy of I'm going and I don't care about what my skin looks like, I made sure to kind of plan my trip around the fact that I knew how my emotional responses were to my skin. And I'm so glad I did that because there were some moments where my skin was breaking out like crazy. Obviously, I wasn't wearing any makeup because it was so hot, and I I just went for it, right? And every single day it got better and better and better because I proved something to myself. And again, I was doing a lot of reflection on that trip as well. Um, and I just reflected back to again like my 13, 14-year-old self of like how proud that version of me would be now. Um, so that was the big movement for me where I was like, actually, skin confidence in itself is a thing. It's you don't have to have clear skin to start your journey. Even if clear skin is your goal at the end, and you want to have clear skin and you want to get to know your body better and be healthy, right, within your body. That I'm completely here for. Like women's health in general, I'm completely here for. And of course, that's what I work on with my clients now, right? But actually, if you're waiting for clear skin to start that journey, it's going to be a very, very miserable journey. And
Mm-hmm.
I think the key shift that I made, the mindset shift that I made, was initially I was doing everything because I wanted to look good. And then I
Mm-hmm.
reframed and I was like, actually, I'm going to do this because I want to feel good. That's when everything changed because you can feel good in your skin even if your skin is breaking out. You can feel good in your body even if your skin is breaking out. But if you're doing things just for the simple kind of purpose of just looking good, that's where it becomes a very kind of internal conflict journey where you're kind of just fighting yourself. Um, so it started from there. And literally from that trip onwards, I got so many people messaging me pretty much every single day because I was documenting it. So people were like, "How are you doing this? Like how?" Because I was showing my real skin. They were like, "How are you doing this?" And at the time, it's weird because when they messaged me, I was like, "I don't know. I don't know how I'm doing it." But
Yeah.
I think being so real with myself in that moment as well allowed me to learn so much. And I think that's the reason that I'm now able to teach people in the way that I have. So I got my NLP qualification. So now I'm a NLP practitioner, a master NLP practitioner. So I'm also a mindset coach. And being able to combine the two, knowing that women now have limiting beliefs. Women with acne have an unbelievable amount of limiting beliefs. It's something that I've seen so much now with every person that I've kind of spoken to. So being able to take them on that transformational journey, not physically, but physically as well as mentally, is yeah, like the best thing ever.
Honestly, it's just amazing to talk about because it's something. Do you know like percentages how many women actually struggle with acne or you know have
Well,
confidence?
I've been so I'm also a content creator, right? So I also work with a lot of brands. So I work with a lot of skincare brands. Well, I used to work with a lot of skincare brands. That's kind of naturally how my social media path fell into play, sort of thing. So naturally, I started working with skincare brands. I started working with beauty brands, and then I kind of fell out of love with that because I realized that the representation of these brands is not really in line with what I want to see represented. I want to see real
Mm-hmm.
skin, you know, with these brands. I want to see things like acne, things like pores. I want to see all of that. So what I ended up doing was I ended up working with a couple of like skin health accreditation bodies, and
Yeah.
through the work that I've done with them, they do a lot of research on the like psychological side of skin and women with acne. And they
Yeah.
found that 96% of women with acne in the UK say that their
Hmm.
acne impacts them mentally, on a mental level, significantly. And that's 96%. So, I mean, you can pretty much say that almost every single woman with acne is impacted psychologically in one way or another.
It is
Yeah.
debilitating.
So,
Like, it's awful. Like for me, I had it really bad last time I was in Australia. I used one
oh,
skincare
really?
brand called Sue Skin, and it caused my whole skin to flare up. Like I literally, like same
Oh,
overnight,
no.
all of my skin was just covered. Like I couldn't, and you can't really wear makeup out here, so it was just like a whole nother level of just like the anxiety. And I think from growing up in school, I feel like where I grew up in Surrey, it was very much like have the nice house or have the nice skin or have the nice everything. And I don't know, it just affects you, doesn't it, growing up of like, oh my
Yeah.
gosh, I just like all of a sudden. So I just think as women and our confidence, I think we all just need, when we can come together, when we can feel supported, when we have people like you that are actually helping people feel refreshed around their skin, helping people see that it doesn't actually matter like externally. It's like, okay, how can you help them internally and like actually fall in
Yeah.
love with themselves, like that
Yeah.
confidence journey that you're talking about, and the confidence journey you've been on. I'd love to hear a little bit around the experiences you've had helping other people with their confidence and how life changing it can be.
Oh my God, it's been amazing. Like every new person, even if they're not a client, just the conversations that I have, even in like the DMs and Instagram, right? Like just the amount of women that reach out to me now because they can finally see what my message is. I think when I first started, I did struggle a bit because the the idea of skin confidence without clear skin is quite difficult for people to grasp. I think a lot of people are
Yeah.
just upset. Think about it. When you have acne, all you can think about is clear skin. Like all you don't care about anything else in life. Like you just want clear skin. And I completely get that. So I think when I first started and when first started kind of posting my message of confidence rather than just clear skin, people were struggling
Yeah.
to understand what I really meant. So I realized that there is a huge gap there. But I had to be very clear in my messaging to make sure that people understood that I wasn't promoting, have acne for the rest of your life. It was, okay, why don't we work on who you are first internally and who you want to be so that you can go on this journey and actually maintain your clearer skin when you do get there, right? And that's the journey that I'm now taking women on because for a lot of women that I've spoken to, again, their mind was just solely on clear skin. And I was like, okay, we need to get you out of this because, again, if your mind is solely on clear skin, when we talk about things like maintenance, right? Like when you have hormonal acne, for example, right? Like a woman who has adult hormonal acne, you've most likely got to change some things in your life. Like you've got to change your lifestyle a little bit. You've got to change your habits. And that's not something that you just do for 3 months and you magically have clear skin. That's something you've got to maintain for the rest of your life, pretty much, right? And your mindset is the thing that carries you through that. If you're not in the right mindset, you cannot do any sort of maintenance or tweaking, like throughout your life because things are going to feel overwhelming. You're going to get one breakout and all of a sudden it's the worst day of your life again. So with what I do now, I've helped women to literally clear their skin in like 6 weeks. It's crazy, right? But it's all because I know, like some of the results I've got, I honestly shocked myself to be honest. I was like, wow. Because
So
my journey was so long. Like my
mhm.
journey was such a long and horrible journey that I did now looking at it, in 3 months, I can get someone the same results as what I got myself in 13 years. And that for me is crazy. But again, with the confidence side of it, it's the confidence to be able to show up for yourself. So it's not even just being confident in your skin, it's the confidence to be able to trust what you're doing and trust the process. Because again,
Mhm.
healing acne naturally, it's not the shortest process in the world. It can take years, you know. And
Mhm.
again, it's completely dependent on each woman. So with the work that I do, that's why I work on a one-to-one basis as well, because every woman is so different. And every woman is going to have different goals for themselves. Like a mum, for
Mhm.
example, someone who's a mum and has children might have completely different goals to someone who's like in their early 20s and just starting out on their acne journey. you know? So
Exactly.
actually being able to
Yeah.
go through those processes as well and really talk about goal setting and where they really want to be with themselves and the examples that they want to set, that's also really lovely for me because it makes me realize that people really are thinking beyond their acne. It's just getting them there. They already have the goals, but
Hmm.
if they have that barrier there, then they're never going to get to those goals, you know? They're never even going to start the process of trying to achieve those goals. That barrier that's there, I'm coming in and I'm
Yeah.
like, "Yep, let's just get rid of that, you know, please."
Right.
Um, but yeah,
Yes.
like it's just finding out about each woman and just again, like I'm learning so much about acne itself, right? Like obviously I know so much about skin and skincare and what the right things to do are. But every time I work with a new client, I get to learn more, you know? So it's
Okay.
just
Oh my God.
I just love
Yeah.
it. I just love it. Yeah.
It's so lovely. Like I just love watching you so passionate about what you do because like we said at the start, I feel like we are very similar. Like it's similar to me of
Yeah.
like when a girl comes to me with their dream for their business and I'm like, "Well, it's not going to happen overnight, but
Mm,
let's build the vision together." And like having you there, and I can tell that you're so passionate and you've been on such a big journey yourself, so it's like having someone that gets you on that journey and having someone to hold your hand and show up when you're having hard days and when you don't feel like going outside and when everything's overwhelming is life changing. So I'm not surprised in 6 weeks girls are coming to you and having their whole, because it's not just skin. Like I would love you to explain a little bit more of like the deeper behind it. Like what do you feel like
mm.
deeper you're helping people with?
I think it does massively come down to limiting beliefs. I think a lot of people who have been on their acne journeys, right? Again, most of the time it's kind of like 5 years plus that people have been on this,
Yeah.
like stuck in this cycle. And I like you probably know, I feel like you've been on a similar kind of journey, even if it's not with skin, where you're stuck, you
Yeah.
just feel stuck and you don't know what to do with yourself. When you've been in that for such a long time, getting out of that feels scary. Even though you want to get out of it, but actually, when you imagine yourself out of it, it's like, oh my God. So then what? Like, who am I when I'm not this person who's now like been stuck for such a long time? And I've
Hmm.
found that actually these women they do want clearer skin, but they're even scared of who of
Yeah.
who they could be when they get clear skin because then what's next, you know? And I think that process as well is really interesting because that's where the deeper work comes in. And I realized like, oh, so you want clear skin, but actually you don't know who you're going to
Yourself.
be when you have clear
Yeah.
skin. Yeah, like you don't
Hmm.
have that plan set out for yourself. All you're thinking about is clear skin, right? But what about
Hmm.
you with clear skin? So when I talk about the limiting beliefs, obviously a lot of the common limiting beliefs are going to be like, I'm not attractive, I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy if I don't have clear skin. These are some of the common ones that have come up, and again, all the kind of beliefs that I had myself as well, and had up till very recently. Within the last couple of years, I shifted those, but again, that was a whole 10-year process of believing
Hmm.
that every single day. And as you know, when you have these beliefs, you start to act in line with them.
Hmm.
So I've found that with these women and the women that I work with, they they don't know how to get out of these habits. These habits that they've got themselves into, right? They genuinely have no idea how to they know that they want to get out of them, but they just don't know what shift to make or what to do. So
Hmm.
when I do the deeper work with them, we really hone in on those limiting beliefs and not just the limiting belief itself, but everything that's come with it. So every habit that they've ever kind of found themselves doing as a result of that limiting belief, right? Because then they start to understand why these things have happened. And as soon as they start to understand why they've been doing these habits, for example, like when people kind of like run to the mirror every morning because they're so scared of what they're going to see, but they have to see so that they kind of know. It's that fear,
Hmm.
right? So a lot of people will run to the mirror every single morning, like scan their skin to see what new breakouts they've got, and they don't want to do that, and they don't know why they're doing it, but they have to do it. Like something within
Hmm.
them is like, no, you have to do this, and obviously it's usually their subconscious, right? And
Hmm.
with the work that I do now, it's literally as soon as they understand why they've been doing that and what the actual purpose of that was, and when they
Yeah.
understand that it's not a helpful behavior, like it's not something that's actually getting them anything, right? Once they
Hmm.
understand that, and once that shifted, oh my God, like the it's crazy. Like the shift that they make and what they're able to actually achieve on a day-to-day basis in terms of just really just little helpful habits that they've always kind of wanted to do, even if it's something like, I don't know, going for a walk in the morning, right? Like getting some sunlight in the morning first thing.
Mhm.
Even little things like that, the fact that they're able to make that shift and start doing something like that in a week's time just from making one shift of a limiting belief is crazy, but it happens, and this is what's happening every single day. And obviously these things are helping their skin because they've now
Mhm.
swapped running to the mirror every morning and like running on stress every single morning to doing something that they genuinely love. And of course,
Mhm.
like when you talk about like the nervous system and internally they're healing and they feel that as well. And for me to see that, obviously they can't always see it, and sometimes because the process of healing acne is, as you said, quite long, they can
Mm.
get it gets difficult to see your own wins. So that's why I'm there, because I'm there to remind them, like, you did this. Like last week you were sitting in bed crying, and now you're
Mhm.
out on a walk every single day consistently. So
Yeah.
that for me is also so nice to see, and it pushes them, you know, and they keep going and they keep going, and yeah, it's just like it's just the best thing ever, genuinely.
It's so much deeper. Like I'm literally sat here like
Oh my god, it
just
is.
yeah, I'm just sat here like
It
grinning
is.
because I'm just like, yeah, go.
It is, and
What did you want to
you
say?
know what? Yeah,
Oh my god,
no, but
girl.
and no, but another thing is as well, because acne is such a, and obviously skin in general, it's such a topical thing. So people just assume
Yeah.
like, okay, take that antibiotic or like use that bit of skincare. The same way that you probably did when you said you used that skincare brand and you thought that was going to be the thing that cleared your acne up, right? And it wasn't. I think a lot
Yeah.
of the time people are very skeptical about your beliefs or anything internal being able to actually heal your skin and heal your body. So if someone is skeptical and they decide to work with me anyway, you and then they get the results. Oh my, they're literally like flabbergasted. They're like, what? Like how has this
Yeah.
happened? I don't even understand how this has happened. But oh my god, I can't stop now. Like I want to keep going and I want to push for bigger and bigger and bigger goals. And that's when I know I'm like, okay, this was meant for you. Like this whole journey, you've been through all this crap and all this shit, but now this was the healing journey that you were supposed to go on. So to be the person that's
Mhm.
also able to make them realize that is really nice. And I feel like every time it heals a little bit of me as well. Like it heals a bit of my inner child because I'm like, oh,
Oh my
okay,
gosh,
it's another woman with acne who's like free. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. And it's so special, and I can so relate to this. Like at the start, I just was saying because I went such down such a dark path, and I was like, when I found the mindset coaching and doing this, I was like, if I could just help one girl, like I would just be the happiest person. Like that would just fill my soul up. So then when you're in this position now where, you've been able to build your life around helping people and, just help so many amazing women finally believe in themselves again. And it's like, it's just like priceless, isn't it? Like I am so happy that
Genuinely.
like oh, yeah, I'm just so happy that this path found you. And like I would love to hear a little bit because a lot of girls listen that run businesses. So what was your journey
Mm.
from, you know, healing yourself to turning it into a business and helping other people?
So, you know what? The fact that I'm actually doing this every day, I have a pinch me moment because I'm like, this is absolutely crazy. From being the
Hmm.
girl who like never got picked at school to like I got bullied at school because of my acne. So to go from that girl to what I'm doing now is just, when I look at that whole journey, I'm like, how has this even happened? It's crazy. Like, how has this even happened? I know, big pinch me moment. Um, but when I you know what? I think again with a lot of the beliefs that I took on when I had acne, I kind of believed that I was already destined for less. So my plan when I came out of, so I went to university and I studied psychology, and I actually wanted to be a therapist. And I think that kind of stemmed from having acne. I think it did, because again I was struggling so much mentally when I had acne, and I never went to therapy or anything like that. So I wanted to be a therapist, and I knew that deep down. But something within me was like, no, you know what? Just go for 9 to 5 because it's the easy option. So I
Yeah.
went into 9 to 5 for about a year and a half, and it just it just didn't feel aligned. I was doing like recruitment. It just wasn't aligned
Oh,
with anything I believed in, anything I was doing. It was like hardcore sales, like be at your desk like 7, 7, 8, 9 hours a day. I was like, nah, I'm okay, thanks.
no,
I can't do this.
that was
Yeah,
my
like it
background
just
as well. Sales.
yeah,
Oh,
like it just wasn't for me at all. And also it wasn't benefiting my skin or my body either. Like I felt my body start to kind of go on that same journey of feeling really sluggish, and like my skin started to break out again. So I was like, actually, acne for me is such a blessing, because whenever my skin is breaking out, I know that things aren't right. And as soon as my skin started breaking out again, I was like, no, something's not right here. And I knew that it was the environment that I was in. And because I'd started content creation, so I started creating content and I started posting on my page in 2021. I didn't post my face for a while because I only believed I could post my face when I had clear skin. So at the start, you'll see from my first ever post, they're like quotes that I was just talking about. Like I'd write a little quote and I'd have like a massive caption, literally just pouring my heart out, because there was no one I could speak to. So I just used my Instagram account. So I was like, well, maybe someone will be able to relate. I don't know. So when I started that, obviously I was creating content and I was working with brands at the time. So I was working with some of my favorite skincare brands, and I was doing like real skin campaigns, like I was doing modeling shoots, and I was like, this is the life for me. Like I shouldn't be sitting at this recruitment desk like doing all this cold calling and stuff. Like I was like, I have a purpose. I'm already doing it. I feel like that's where I need to be. So I decided to quit, and I was like, you know what? This is really scary, but I'm just going to go for it because I'm doing it already. Like why not just go all in? Because I don't know if you found this, but when I was working 9 to 5, I had no energy for anything else. So
No, it's
when I
hard
was
to do it all.
working 9 to 5, like yeah, slowly that kind of dream that I had of, being that kind of like real skin advocate, and I had it, and then it was kind of slipping away because I had no energy anymore. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to quit, and I went in with content full time, and honestly had no goal at the time. I was just like, I'm just going to try and see. I'm just going to do what I'm doing already and just do it on a bigger scale and see if it works. And then last year, when I went on that journey that I was telling you about, where I did manage to clear my skin naturally, so I actually worked with a nutritionist, and I told her that I wanted it to be a very I didn't want it to feel overwhelming. So I said, no matter how long it takes, I don't even want clear skin. I just want to know my body. I just want to feel healthy and happy again. And it's so weird, but I think because that was my intention, literally within 3 months of working with her and learning about my body, my skin was completely clear. As in, I went from like, I had breakouts everywhere. I've got a lot of like before and afters on my Instagram, but literally breakouts everywhere to I did nothing, like no supplements, no nothing. I literally just focused on like my diet, my lifestyle, and again, a lot of mindset work from myself. And literally within 3 months, my skin was clear. And I was like, what? So I was like, I've been through this for 13 years, and you're telling me in 3 months I could have cleared it all. So then I realized, I was like, you know what? If that is the case, and I realized through the reflection of that process that mindset was the thing that carried me through. If my mindset wasn't where it was, I wouldn't have stuck to like the nutrition plan. I wouldn't have stuck to like the workout plan. I wouldn't have built up good habits because I wouldn't know why I was doing it. So when I realized that mindset was the thing that carried me through it, and I had so many limiting beliefs, that's when I started the business, because I was like, you know what? People don't know about this, and they're not going to know about it unless I do something and like start kind of talking about mindset on my page, because initially I wasn't. So I started talking about it. Obviously, again, people were like, I'm not really sure about that. Like, you're just talking a lot of like voodoo stuff. And I was like, you know what? Fair enough. But I kept pushing with it. I kept explaining the concepts of it through my own journey. And I started to have really like amazing conversations with a lot of women. Um, and then in the mindset space, in the acne space, in the skincare space, like all these sort of different industries. And I was like, this is actually really interesting, because I feel like I can pull this all together and create my own thing. And then that's what I did. Like I literally just everything I knew from skincare and working with like massive skincare brands, I was like, okay, I'm going to pull some of that. I'm going to pull some of the mindset stuff, and I'm going to pull some of the nutrition stuff, and I'm just going to create this program and like this space for women to finally just be in control again. And that's literally what I'm doing now.
Oh my gosh, I feel so excited about it all. Like
Yeah.
I just love nothing more than hearing people's journeys of like, that one quote of like, you're turning your pain into your purpose, of like,
Yeah.
everything coming together. And it's never straightforward, is it? You have to go on this big journey of like healing and doing all of these things yourself in order to to become that version of you that is confident to help other people. And what you said
Yeah,
there around like everyone, when people thought it was all woo woo and didn't believe it, it's like, well, when you back yourself, it doesn't matter. Like, that's why the mindset work
literally.
is so special, because
Yeah.
you backed yourself when no one else did. And look at you now, probably with people saying, oh my gosh, I wish I could do what you do, or like, you're so amazing. And it's like,
Yeah.
you had to go on that journey, didn't you?
Yeah, you will you probably get this as well. Like when you're selling confidence, you have to be confident as well. Like if I'm
Yeah,
selling confident and then I'm not confident in myself and in my own approach, then of course no one's gonna understand what I'm talking about, you know? So it's not even
exactly.
I think I went through a long period of faking confidence in my life. So now I actually know
Hmm.
that my confidence is real because I went through such a long period of faking it. So now I know that my confidence is actually genuine. It's so easy to show up like that every single day. Because when you're faking confidence and it feels like such a chore to have to like put on the fake smile and all of that. So now that I'm not in that space anymore, my confidence is actually confidence, like genuine
Yeah.
confidence. Of course, I want to be showing up like this every single day. So it makes it easy as well to kind of like attract
And
what I need
yeah.
to be attracting.
And you just want other women to have that as well. It's like this like secret power, isn't it? Like you feel like when you unlock all of this stuff and you're like,
Yeah,
oh my
literally.
gosh, it doesn't matter what I look like as much. Like it comes from within, and it's like I don't need anyone to think I'm pretty or think this or think that, because I think I'm an amazing person, and I make mistakes, do silly things, but I love who I am. So it just is like a gift, and when you can give that gift to other people, it is incredible.
It's the best
I
thing
did want to
ever.
ask you a
Literally.
question. But I also wanted to say my mum works for Aven, so I think that's been amazing for me because she's a skin
Oh my
educator.
God.
Um, so yeah, it's been so special having her through my life,
That's
because
amazing.
I was living over here and she was meant to ship me out these products and they didn't come for ages. So I was like, right, I'll try something else. And then that's when I had a massive
Mm.
breakout. But otherwise, I feel like I would have just been clueless of like what to do, where to start. So
Oh my God.
yeah.
You're so lucky that you had your mum, literally, because I also, when I had acne, again, my mum had never experienced acne. My parents had never experienced acne. Like no one had experienced acne. So there was no one to guide me through the process. So again,
Yeah.
that's kind of what I'm doing now because again, a lot of people who go through acne, their family haven't been through it or no one that they know has been through it. And as you said, like when you when you don't know anyone who's been through the same thing, of course you're just going to
Yeah.
follow whatever you see on social media. You're going to follow the random wellness trends. Like you're going to do everything in your power to just make it right. Yeah, out of desperation, literally. So I'm very glad you have your mum. That's what I'm
Yeah,
going to say.
and like she's you'd love her, like honestly. But I wanted to say there, like it is so overwhelming with social media now, and the amount you're seeing online. Like I just think it's so beautiful what you're doing, where it's like people know skincare, they can come to you. And I wanted to open that up and talk about like, because I actually was like having a little stalk earlier and I saw that you have like a program for people to join. So I'd love to talk about that and what's included and
Yeah,
the value for people that are probably listening and need the support.
yeah. So the Clear Skin Confidence
Yeah.
program is, oh my God, literally what I needed when I was going through it last year. Um,
Hmm.
it is literally for anyone. So like any woman who is going through acne, no matter what age she is, because obviously acne can happen at very different stages of life. So the whole point of it being one to one is that it's completely bespoke to that individual person. So whatever age you are, whatever type of acne you have, it's that the program is for you. Um, so with the program, again, the three kind of core principles of it are skin science. So there's an education side of it because the more that you know when you go on your acne journey, the more you're able again to maintain and understand why you're doing what you're doing. And the whole point of what I do is that I help women through their journey to help them get clearer skin and to become really insanely confident. But I want them to be able to maintain that for themselves long
Yeah.
term. So that's why I do that education part of the program where we really go into what your kind of root cause is, what's
Mhm.
happened along your whole journey and why we're changing things. And then that's where mindset massively comes in as well because again, a lot of these women will have limiting beliefs and they will have a lot of confidence issues that have affected them for a long time. So then another part of the program is we massively go into shifting those limiting beliefs so that you are able to
Mhm.
actually stick to whatever plan we develop for you, whatever kind of habits you want to start building up for yourself. you're in a space now where you are your own cheerleader. As much as I'm going to be there for them, they're already their own
Mm,
cheerleader because those beliefs have been shifted. So they already are there for themselves, and that's honestly the most crucial part of the program, in my opinion. Because of
mhm,
course, like nutrition and lifestyle and diet, all those things are really important. But again, if you cannot be your own biggest cheerleader, and if you don't understand why you're doing what you're doing, then everything else is kind of pointless, in my opinion. So the and then the third principle is simply again just it's maintenance. It's being able to make the tweaks, kind of by yourself eventually, and being able to just be in touch with your body and like understand what's actually going on, right? So within that 3 months, we go through that entire process. There's 4 phases. We go through that. We go through each phase, and obviously we have like weekly one-to-one calls. There's also my Skin Confidence Club, which is like my free community, just of women full of like women on their skin confidence journeys. Some people who have like
mm,
like dermatitis, psoriasis, acne, like all sorts of skin conditions, but just women who can fully relate to each other. Because a lot of the time when you have acne as well, as I said, it's a very lonely journey, and it's very difficult to speak to people who have clear skin when you have acne about your acne and how it makes you feel, because they just can't relate. So that Skin Confidence Club that I have, that community, people just chat on it. They just, whether they're having a good day, a bad day, whether they just need to be uplifted, like they just share. And it got to a point where obviously when I first created it, I I was doing a lot of the talking because people naturally needed to kind of feel a bit more confident to speak in that chat. And then all of a sudden, I haven't spoken in it for I don't even know how long. Everyone's just going on and on and on and on. I'm like, oh, fantastic! This is what I wanted, because they finally kind of got that confidence to just speak about how they feel. So a lot of the times I'm getting
mhm.
like notifications from it, and I'm like, oh yeah, oh yeah, that,
Yeah.
because I don't have to, kind of push it as much anymore, which is it's just so nice because again, that's another part of confidence, right? It's being able to actually talk about the way that you're feeling and being able to verbally kind of get that across. So yeah, within my program, we literally go through those 4 phases, and again, it's all based on that specific woman, that specific client, and what their goals are for themselves, and not just that, but again, why they don't want to be where they are anymore. So it's not just where you want
Mhm.
to get to. It's like, okay, why are you so fed up of being where you are now? That's the main
Yeah.
driver, I think, of how the program works. Because once they really understand that they can't do this anymore, they can't be where they have been for the past, like 5, 10 years. That's the driving force that allows us to kind of get those 3 month, 4 month transformations.
Mhm.
So yeah, any women with acne, any women, even with different skin conditions, to be honest. So I've also worked with women who have like dermatitis, and managed to clear that. So I do mainly work with women with acne, but to be honest, the program now, especially from a mindset perspective, is for any woman with any skin condition at any point in their journey. Um, and it's just for people who want to finally be back in control of their life and actually understand their skin, their body, and their mind.
Mm. Oh, it sounds
Yeah,
amazing. I just wanted to hear because I think sometimes when people hear coaching, they don't sometimes just don't know what it includes and like, that taking
yeah.
people on that journey of like, okay, well, what would it be like working with a coach when it comes to skincare and like what would that journey look like? I think it gives people more confidence to reach out rather than like, I'll just put that off or I'll just do it another time or like I don't have the money for it. But it's like, well, what
Yeah.
is the cost of you not investing in yourself? Like, you want to spend another 5 years waking up hating the way you look. And it's just like, I'm such a believer in investing in yourself when it's scary, when it
Oh my
feels
God,
risky. It's
me
like,
too.
yeah.
That's the best
Feel
time
me.
to do it. I feel like when you're the most scared about it, that's the best time to do it. From my experience
Yeah.
anyway, because I've heavily invested in myself, both not just like skin wise, but like everything wise, business wise, like mindset wise, everything, all rounder approach.
Mhm.
And when I've been the most scared to do something and make an investment is when I've got the most out of that investment every
Exactly.
time
It's
without
so
fail.
good.
So yeah. And I always ask people like, how much is clear skin worth to you? Or like, how much is finally being confident in yourself again and being in control of your life worth to you? You know?
Mhm.
And that's for
So
them to
true.
answer. Like I'm not here to work with every single person who has acne, but I'm here to work with the right people who want more than just clear skin. You know? It's
Yeah.
it's for those people who they might want clear skin, but they want more than that. And they see themselves as more than that. those are
Yeah.
my people.
And I think we are in an era where like we want to look after ourselves more. Like it's not like I like the drinking, the partying culture. I feel like we're just coming into a new era of like everyone actually wants to take care of themselves. And like even for me, I
Yeah.
can't wait to like be in one place again and just like, proper be in my Pilates matcha prince. I'm actually already in that now, to be fair, in Australia. But like
Per.
I just
Per. I've seen.
I love it. I just feel like it's so needed to have people like you and I guess me in the world of like just
Yeah, of
helping people
course. Oh
and
my
being
God.
there to support. And I just love it. And I don't know why I really want to ask this question, but I would love to know like your bigger like the vision and where you see this going now that you've set the foundations, you're helping people. Like what feels exciting for you?
This is something that's like, again, like not to put it out there, but also to put it out there. But
Let's put it out
I
there.
think I think I've been on such an incredible journey over the last 4 years. I think since I posted that first post on social media, like that first
Yeah.
Instagram post was the start of my confidence journey. So even though I say that
Hmm.
my skin confidence journey started last year, actually my confidence journey, aside from skin, started from my first post on Instagram. And I think when I started working with like some of my favorite brands, like huge brands, I'm talking, I my dream now is like I can see myself being like flown out to talk at these like to the communities of these massive skincare brands and not talk them through the skin itself, but talk them through confidence and skin confidence itself and talk them through the
Yeah.
fact that okay, you can have this skincare routine and these skincare products are amazing and whatever else, but actually think about this and who you are as a person, who you are in your skin, or who you want to be in your skin. So I see that kind of circling back at some point because I have stopped a lot of the brand work that I've done because I'm so invested in this program, my like the Clear Skin Confidence program. But I
Mhm.
do see that circling back because I just want it to be like global. Like I want skin confidence as a concept to be global, and at the moment it's not. Um,
Mhm.
so I want to be I honestly see
Okay.
myself right now as like the UK's leading skin confidence coach, but I want to be like the
Mhm.
world's leading skin confidence coach. Um,
Yes.
and I feel like I will be genuinely. I feel like it's going to happen, but I want as many women as possible, genuinely, to be back in control of their lives, of their skin, and like I don't want any woman to wake up with a breakout and run to the mirror again. Like I want them to wake up with a breakout, stick a cute pimple patch on, carry on with their day. You know,
Yeah.
keep going for those
Oh my
goals. Like
God.
I just that's genuinely what I want. And I think I'll do it. I think I'll do it genuinely.
I can't wait to like 5 years time or whatever look back at this podcast episode and be like, here she is.
I know
I want to message
her.
you. I
No,
want to message you and
literally.
be like, do you
I feel like the
remember
same is.
when you said?
I'll be
Sorry.
bringing you with me. What do you mean? I'm like, yes, come on, let's go. Coach me
I
through
know, I
it.
literally do like, and I just feel like it's just so I just love talking about it. I love because often probably for you, you're doing so much of this for other people, and it's like, well, like looking at the bigger picture of like, if every girl that was struggling had that just like that one mindset of like, well, instead of looking in the mirror, I'll put my pimple patch on and listen to me affirmations and enjoy my day. Like it would just make such a
Yeah,
difference, and I can so see all of this happening
yeah,
for you. And
massively.
like I just think as well, you're such a nice example, a nice, but like an amazing example. A lot of people think it happens overnight, whereas for you, like you said, you started your page 4 years
Nope.
ago, and you've been on this massive journey. So, last little bit of advice of people that are struggling right now, maybe in their business or life, and maybe feel like giving up on something. What advice would you give?
I think tap into the struggle. That's something that I didn't do, and it's something that I wish I did. So if you know that you are struggling with something, right? Because a lot of the time people are struggling and they know they're struggling, they just avoid the struggle. They tell themselves that they're
Yeah,
fine. But I think if you actually tap into the struggle, right, whether that's through like journaling or whether it's through just speaking to somebody about it, that's another thing. Speak to people, please. Like people are there, speak to them, right? Whether it's someone on Instagram, like whether it's a coach, whether it's like one of your best friends, speak to people. But I think being really conscious of the fact that you are struggling. is the quickest way to get out of the struggle, in my opinion.
Mhm.
And I think if I was very conscious of the fact that I was struggling and really accepted that 4 years ago, I think I would have been on this journey maybe sooner. I can't say for sure, but I know for a fact I would have been in a very different mindset and headspace a lot earlier on if I actually accepted that I was struggling and actually did something about it rather than just sitting in the struggle or avoiding it. Um,
Mhm.
because again, I think when you sit in the struggle and you avoid it, that struggle lasts for so much longer than it needs to. And the only person that's really like suffering from that is you. So the only person that's impacting is you, right? So yeah, I think tap into the struggle because so much can come from it. Like so much beauty can come from it.
Yeah. Oh, I love that answer so much, and it's such a nice reminder because you can't go around it. You have to feel through it. Like you have to just
Yeah,
rip
you
that
do.
band-aid off and go through it.
No,
And
literally.
that's
And again, like as we said, it's scary, but as we both said, sometimes like the scariest investments we've made have been the best ones. So if something feels
yeah,
scary, there's a reason for
invest.
that. There's a reason it feels scary.
Hmm. Yeah, and
Yeah.
I think the best things for me I ever did was invest from the start of like, well, I don't know how to do that right now. Well, let's find someone that does, and if it feels scary to invest in them, that's
Yep.
probably a good thing, and we're going to do it. So, I
Yeah,
love it so much,
exactly.
and I really feel like I could talk to you for hours. I feel like it's been so good. We'll have to have a
Thanks.
coffee meet
Me
up when I'm
too.
back home.
You know, oh my God, please. That would be so good. It would be lovely to meet you in person.
Yes, well, me and Kiara have some mutual connections, so I'm sure it will happen. We'll have a big girly day and
We'll
a
all
meet
catch
up. I
up.
love
I
it.
literally can't
But
wait.
I would just love to thank you so much for coming on the podcast. I just think you're just amazing, and everything you stand for and
Thank
that you're
you.
doing in this world for all of us women is amazing. I would love for you to maybe share where people can find you. We'll leave it in the show notes, but it's always nice for you to share.
Yep. So on Instagram, I'm healing.with.key. So that's KI at the end. TikTok, healing with key. YouTube, healing with key. Any inquiries, if you have acne, if you have any sort of skin condition, if you're struggling with your confidence in general, please reach out. Or if you just need some like silly little just videos to get you through your day, also Instagram.
Amazing. Honestly, I want you all to go follow. But thank you so much for coming on. I've loved having you
Of
so much, and
course.
you're just such a bundle of joy, an amazing person in this world. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me. Genuinely, as I said at the start as well, I knew this was going to happen. This was going to happen at some point. I knew it. As soon as I think, I don't know if I followed you or you followed me. I can't even remember. But I saw you and I was like, I did a little stalk at your page as well. And I was like, yeah, she's great.
She's a bit of me.
She's
I love it. Well, I'm so happy it
a bit of
happened. I'm so
me.
happy
Yeah.
it it came into fruition, and we will catch up. Amazing, everyone. Thank
Yeah,
you so much for
definitely.
listening, and we will see you next week. Thank you so much for listening to this week's episode on the Your Girl Yaz podcast. We'll be back next Wednesday at 7 a.m. UK time, so I look forward to seeing you back here. I also have a free higher self meditation course for you to learn to meditate, to relax, to switch off, that's available for you to access now in the show notes. And also, don't forget to follow the podcast wherever you're listening, rate, leave us a review. I appreciate it way more than you could ever know. Thank you so much again for listening. If you've got any feedback of the podcast, my Instagram at Yasmin Lily Hilston is also linked in the show notes, and I really appreciate it.